So let's just jump in. This is the data right here that I'm going to look at. This spreadsheet should look very familiar. It should be the same exact readout format that you have for your data. So here you can see the different wavelengths that were scanned and then all of the different wells in the plate. And just to kind of help me stay oriented, I'm just going to color code these quickly. Blue for blanks in A and B, C, D, and E are wild type, so I'm going to color them white for wild type. And then F, G, and H are mutants, so I'm going to color them magenta for mutant. Strawberry, close enough. And then I also want to just rename my spreadsheets here. So one thing I would definitely recommend as you're going through this is that you save the raw data, kind of leave it alone, and then do your analysis in a new sheet so that if something gets screwed up with your spreadsheet, you're not going to corrupt or lose your actual data off the spreadsheet or off the machine. We collected blanks at every urea concentration that was tested, and I'm going to go through and just write out the urea concentrations quickly here, again, just to help me keep track of what I'm doing. So these are the actual concentrations that this group tested of urea. So yours, of course, may be different than this. Okay. And then I'm going to copy the wavelengths over into the analysis spreadsheet, so I have those. And the first thing that we have to do before we can subtract the blanks is average them, right? Because you should have two values for each blank. So for a blank at 0 molar urea, we have A1 and B1 at each wavelength. So the first thing that I'm going to do is average those. So equals average of A1 and B1. Now, if you're not great at using Excel, you will probably get pretty good at it over the course of this process. So I also just want to double check that that worked. So the value we got was 234 and the raw numbers were 236 and 232. That's exactly right. So that's good. So then I'm just going to copy this all the way across and then copy it down about 12. Oops. This could go. All right, so again, it's helpful just to take a look at the spreadsheet and make sure everything looks like it copied properly. So like the average of A10 and B10, A10 and B10 should be 300. Let's just look something over here, 348. We've got 85 and like 74. So yeah, that looks perfect. Okay, so these are, again, just average of the blank values. So now let's start looking at some of our actual samples. All right. So all we have to do is take the C1 value, which is right here, and subtract the corresponding blank value. And again, let's just double check that worked. The value is 249. Perfect. Okay, so again, I'm just going to copy that all the way across here, and then you can copy it down. Let's see, C12 is in row 30. So I can take this and copy it like so. And it should fill in all the values appropriately. All right, so then we're just going to do that for each set. Now at this point, you can tell that this process is going to take a little bit of time. Oops. Especially if you don't highlight things properly. So you can go ahead and fast forward the video, or we can race. There we go. E1. So there's all the wild type data, and I'm going to add the mutant